Guys, we just ran into like the same car as this coming back to my house from our buddy's house where Jordan's Talon is. So we just had to do a quick fix on his Talon. We fixed it. He's happy. It's good. We came back to the house to continue working on my 2JZ GTE IS300. And this guy pulls up to the STI trying to race me in an IS300. I'm like, oh buddy, I'll blow your doors off. And then we hear the and we're like, okay, that is not NA. And sure enough, pulls like lengths. I wasn't racing at that time, but I'm like, there's something up with this car. So we followed him to a gas station. I'll put a picture here for you so you can check it out. And it is a 1JZ VVTi swapped car. Someone did it for him, and I showed him pictures of mine, and he was like, wow, that thing is sick. He actually deleted his ABS, which I want to do so freaking bad. Might just buy that Chase base kit. But anyway, we're putting the coilovers on now. We're going to show you what we did for the front. There's a little trick we did. And Jordan's back here getting the, he's crimping the power for the battery relocate in the back. I still need to get a battery box for that. But anyway, stay tuned for the coilover install. All right, so now that we're back, that coilover is in. I'm gonna torque all that down. We torqued this one down. We don't know how high it's gonna sit or how low it's gonna sit, but these are Yonokas. Now, I'm not one to usually buy a cheaper coilover. These were on Black Friday deal, and it was 500 bucks shipped to my door, 580. Like, you can't say no. It's gonna be a hell of a lot better than what was on the car. They're fully adjustable, dampening adjustable. You know, it's a pretty nice piece, honestly, for the money. Normal price was 1,300 bucks, but I haven't figured out if I want to spend a whole bunch of money on this chassis yet. So since I haven't made up that decision, I'm not going to go out and buy Fortune Auto coilovers, for example. But I'm going to buy something that suffices for now, and this is a very good compromise. This is a one for the rear. They are built very well. They have extremely good reviews in the IS300 community, and they are a monotube design, which is everything I want. So I'm giving it a go here, and we're going to show you what we did on the other side, because we only got one side done. I don't want to put the camera on and show you guys something we don't know what we're getting into, right? So let's get into this side after Jordan is done doing his crimping back there, and we'll show you what we do. Say there's nothing like putting a factory hose back on where she goes. All right, y'all. So I think I mentioned this in the valve cover gasket video, but to make your life way easier, you must take the ball joint on the upper control arm off from your hub assembly, like so. And then that guy slides right out. And we're gonna put the other one in, and I'll show you a trick on putting the upper ball joint back on with ease. So stay tuned. All right guys, so the driver's side is in. Whoever worked on this car last put the bolt in the wrong way. It was facing this way rather than this way, so the sway bar was actually in the way. So we had to fight with that, but we got it. And this one will soon be bolted in and ready to go. So if you try to put that ball joint in, ours is just spinning. So we have to add force to the A-arm. That way when we impact it, we can press up and it'll prevent the ball joint from spinning. Whereas if there's no force up there, it'll just bounce up and not, it won't sit in the seat, and it won't prevent it from spinning. So we just put a block of wood up there, and it works perfectly. So Jordan, try to give it a try. Hopefully this doesn't make a liar out of us. Bingo. Worked like a charm. So if you have the same issue, just try putting something up there to prevent the A-arm from going up, and you just simply slide it out and you're done. New coilovers don't have an ABS provision for it, which a lot of them don't. So I'm just gonna put a zip tie around it, wrap it around, and that'll be sufficient. We also torqued the bottom bolt to this strut to 50 foot-pounds. It calls for 47 foot-pounds. Again, from what I could research, always do your own research. And then up here, I believe it says 37 foot-pounds, and that's what I'm gonna torque those to. All right, just so you guys can see the zip tie, we loosely put it on so it can move still. It's not fixed to the position. And yeah, that should suffice for me anyway. I'll keep an eye on it. All right, so the front's done. You can see it is nicely lower than before. They do have to settle. We did put them in pretty much the same size as factory, so obviously it's a coilover. It's going to be lower than factory when it's the same size anyway, right? And they still have to settle, like I said. And also the rears are going to get done a different day, but it'll be included in this video, so you guys won't know the difference anyway. And when Jordan's here next time, we're going to tackle the fuel pump hanger, the fuel return, and the battery box. So we're making progress, guys. So second part of the video here for the IS300 suspension. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna put the rear coilovers on. Everything back here looks pretty good. Lots of surface rusty pieces I'm gonna have to make better as always, but we're gonna get to it. We're gonna put the spring compressors on here because it looks like a very easy spring compressor accepting coil, so opposed to the fronts, because we could put the long end up there because it's not going to hit the chassis. So I'll show you once we have it going on. All right, guys. So while we're in there doing the coilovers, I am replacing the rear rotors. I'm not really sure why this one has overspray primer looking stuff on it. That might have been done by Josh, my buddy, who owned the car, or they might have come like that just because they know that you're going to scrub this off relatively quick. Either way, I'm going to put some brake clean on it, but it'll be nice to have brand new brakes in the rear. The fronts have brand new brakes. The rear caliper was just rusty as rusty can be, so we cleaned it up, and I obviously coated it with some nice red-orange paint. Don't call me rice, because I would have done probably a silver or something if I had it, but I don't. Really weird cord there. I bet you that's underglow. I bet you that's underglow. But I took this off. So this is one of the worst spots. IS300's rust. This one's actually in pretty good shape. Like, surprisingly, the landing is still there. It's like surface rust, but it's attacking the paint really good. So I'm gonna try to preserve that, and I sprayed my handy dandy Rust Cure 3000 stuff on it. As always, this stuff is magic. So yeah, that's where we're going. The reason why this rusts so bad is this little plastic piece sits like that, and over the years, dust and dirt get back there. And there was a I should have showed you guys, maybe I'll show you on the other side, but there was a mountain of soaked dirt back there. I'm not kidding you. So we cleaned that all up and put some rust stuff back there just to preserve it. And I'm gonna go put the new rotor back here, and we're gonna see how it is. And then Jordan's gonna put the new coilovers in. He's back there right now working on taking the 3 bolts, the mounting bolts to the chassis off. So we're almost there. All right, folks. So here is the ground we're running for the battery relocate. Jordan's back here getting at those, right? Because you got to take all the interior out back here to get at the strut bolts. Nice surprise. And there's my meth pump. Nice surprise to see that all the tools are back here. Some treasures we have found along the way. Nothing crazy. But when we're looking down here, hey, cool, I found the trim for the box. Sweet. I see some zip ties, and I can only imagine what those are for, and they probably relate to the cable I seen running up to the car. So let's take a look, shall we? Oh, it is underglow grossness. So those will be coming out. So I'm gonna fill those holes with some silicone. And yeah, we'll clean the back of this out because it looks pretty filthy. But there is the strut mount bolts that we have to get to. Right, folks, so we finally got that thing out. We had to loosen the rear sway. That rear sway bar is just so tiny, hey? Holy cow. But anyway, we took the bolt out that was holding it to the control arm, and that allowed us a lot more movement. And we used dual spring compressors and me jumping on the back and then Jordan pulling it. So it got it out. But it was a challenge. This was a breeze compared to it. It's kind of the same setup. And right now we measured this. This is at 24, and these were put into 22.5 because the rears were really high. So we're gonna adjust both of the rears the same and then see how it sits, and then adjust them all around. Fronts are a little high, but that won't take much to lower the fronts, and we should be good. So we're just on the other side now. Jordan's tidying up everything. I just torqued everything over there. There's the caliper getting de-rustified. We lost the key to one of the lug nuts, like the main locking one, so we're gonna have to find that. But I wanted to show you, before we do everything, the dirt that gets put. Well, this one's not bad compared to the other one, but you can see that when all that stuff gets wet, it stays wet. And you can even see there's some moisture there still. So obviously we want to clean this out, right? And make it all nice and put some coating on it to keep the rust out and keep the moisture out. So that's what I'm going to do. To this side, yes, this all needs to be cleaned up. I'll get there, but so far so good. New rotor's on, a spray painted rotor from, brand new out of the package. Never seen that before in my life, but I guess they exist. So I'm gonna clean up the bolts for the caliper and these bolts, and we're gonna clean this out, coat it, and get the coilover in on this side. All right, guys, just a little tip trick of the pros, because I'm so pro. Just kidding. I'm coating the heads of the bolts, and I'm using a piece of cardboard to hold them and not get any on the threads. So yeah, it works great. I just put a coat of primer on it. I wire wheeled them, and then I'm gonna put some wheel coating on them, and it'll be all dandy. All right, y'all, rear coil is on. Everything is torqued. I will put the torque specs on the screen for you now. And on the other side, because I forgot to on this side, but look at it. It's beautiful. This was drooping down like another 6 inches, if you recall. So already looks a hell of a lot better. So I'm super stoked about that. I think the top 3 bolts were 47 foot-pounds, and the bottom one to the lower control arm was 81 foot-pounds. But again, I will put that on the screen for you, and that is the information that I found. Always look up your own torque specs, as always. Guys, just wanted to show you the dual spring compressor action we got going on. Jordan's just up top undoing the bolts. We're gonna compress this. I'm gonna jump on it and Jordan's gonna pull, and that's how we're gonna get it out. We'll probably have to take the strut bolt out down there, that one, and loosen it from the lower control arm. And yeah, we should be good to go. All right, guys, the driver's side is in, went in with ease. I only recommend having someone here to help you jump on the hub, basically, to take it out, and some spring compressors, and you'll be good to go. Also wanted to show you guys, I cleaned up this area. If you recall, this was just lanky janky there, chilling up here. The diagnosis port was sticking way up here. I have a fuel pressure regulator on the way, and I believe it sits between these two somewhere, maybe the dipstick. So I cleaned it all up. It's nice. It looks almost factory. Everything's bolted down, cleaned up. I do want to move the power steering reservoir from here to right here and get the Chase Bay's ABS delete kit. You can see that it's really dirty back there from the hoses on the power steering. So I want to, And they're really long. Like, you know, I just want to clean it up. So this is good. Fuel pressure regulator's on the way. And I just hope everything fits. I got to find a reservoir for the power steering, though, of some sort. All right, y'all, as we're closing out, Jordan's down there taking the underglow off. We took it off in the trunk, and I just laid some silicone, stinky silicone down. And I'll probably have to go put another dab in there because it's not fully sealing, but it's close. Better than it was before. And we're gonna make sure it's not live and just rip it out from underneath the car. All right, guys, she's dropped, and as we expected, this is now monster truck, and the rears fit perfectly. That is just gorgeous, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna rub. The fenders have been rolled, so this should work. Just got to get rid of these Motomaster tires here. Canadian Tire Specials. This is a 215 tire too, which is very, very thin for this car and this engine, so not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll get up to 225s and just get a sticky tire on the back for now and get them recoated. But look at that, brand new. Looks beautiful. Let's go check out the other side. Oh yeah, the other side is even lower. But I think our clearance is gonna be okay. And I think if I get a 225, which again is still too thin for this car, it'll be okay. So I think we'll be all right. But I am gonna see what I can get out of these. Like a 225, 235, I'm hoping. And get them repowder coated from Zach. That would be cool, because I do love these wheels. And the front on this side, again, is monster truck. But they're both installed. And it's looking way better. Now we got to figure out the fender. Got to figure out the surface rust. There's still so much to do. So much to do. Coolant, we were supposed to do this today. That'll be another day. And then all the pipes are off to Zach right now to get coated. But that's all I have for you guys in this segment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you're following along with this build. It seems like it's non-stop money, non-stop blood, sweat, and tears. So we're going to keep going at it. But damn, that looks really good in the back. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, peace.